Welcome back to another episode of the Otter Players Podcast. There is a ton to get into this week. Anybody who watches the show, anybody in gaming, knows what's been going on. We had the Summer Games Fest going crazy. You had their showcase themselves. We also had the show prior with the PlayStation State of Play, and upcoming, we have the Xbox Showcase, and going on right now, we have the Future Games show as well as the Day of the Devs that took place last night. So a ton of information, a ton of new trailers, just honestly, just an insane amount of game announcements. It just goes to show you, regardless of what's going on with the industry, like there is a ton of games being made, all with a lot of creative direction and a lot to look forward to. So we're gonna find out what everybody's been playing, and then we'll jump into those discussions. Weeb, how are you, man? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, like you said, a hell of a lot of announcements. So my backlog is creaking and moaning, seeing all those announcements. But yeah, we have to keep trying to reduce the size of that backlog. So yeah, what I've been playing, of course, Expedition 33 and a little bit of Mario Kart World,
Okay.
because yeah, I'm one of the suckers about the Switch too. Uh,
I'm with you. I'm
so
with you.
yeah. I at least had to try it a little, see what the fuzz is all about. Um, I mean, it's Mario Kart, so there's not much to say about it. I don't see anything about it that warrants that markup that Nintendo has spoken about. Like, oh yeah, that it's worth it. I mean, it's basically Mario Kart. The only difference is now you can grind on rails to take more shortcuts. And yeah, they have different circuits, and on the other hand, it seems like they have less customization of the vehicles this time around. So it is, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that much of a dire Nintendo fan to uh, claim that this is like the best thing ever. It's a Mario Kart game. I'm sure it's fine if you played Mario Kart before, but yeah, I mean, it's a weak ass launch lineup. Let's
Oh,
put it like
100%.
that. Um, Expedition 33 on the other hand is still absolutely amazing. I've finally beaten the Paintress, which was a pain in the ass. But I finally managed to get a setup that worked. And yeah, it goes to show like you're trying to beat her like six times and keep dying, and the next day you tweak your setup a little and you beat her the first time, but that's gamer life for you. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and now I'm busy basically doing everything but the main story quest, because that's basically just one quest to the end. So I'm wrapping up everything that still needs to be wrapped up. So doing all the optional dungeons, side quests, leveling up my characters and their relationships. And yeah, I mean, it's an absolute blast. Like every time you end the chapter, it hits you with and does the emotional damage. Because yeah, I mean, those scenes hit hard, and absolute kudos to the developers for making such a masterfully crafted story. Immaculate gameplay, and the music is absolutely gorgeous, and just enhances the experience. Yeah, yeah, it just shows you how important that is to any game, and how much it can elevate your experience, and allows you to have people feel what you want to feel during playing the game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that I'll be able to wrap it up before next week's podcast. So maybe we can then talk about spoilers, but yeah, we'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like it's sort of a straight. It's sort of doing all the side content, at my pace, and then uh, straight ahead to the end. And part of me does want to know how it ends. Part of me is like, yeah, I don't really want to end because it's such an amazing experience. And yeah, I have almost zero doubts that this is going to be game of the year. I mean, to me, it's game of the year, but I also think based on the reception, based on what this game does, like,
Hmm.
I don't think anything can come close to this. I mean, we still have some bangers coming this year, but I think especially since it's sort of first game of the studio, it's a first entry in. I don't know if it's a franchise, um, but yeah, I mean that definitely will speak in its favor. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to top this this year. So yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Oh,
You're a
that's what's up.
Kojima fan. Interesting.
And it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
change that.
I I mean, I like Death Stranding, but I don't think it's Kojima's best game. But I'll
Uh, uh.
I'll shut up now. Otherwise, Nate will probably kick me from the podcast.
Nah, man. No, I mean obviously Metal Gear is his most famous and biggest game. Um, but yeah, I mean I'm the same way though. I gave the first Death Stranding a 10, and I still don't think Death Stranding 2 is going to do anything that is going to put it higher on my list for Game of the Year. So no, I'm with you on that one.
I Yeah, you can only sort of surprise people the first time. I mean, it can go both either way. Like for me, I wasn't a perfect game. I did have some gripes, so it could potentially elevate that game if it sort of fixes the things that bugged me. About and those are mainly about the way the story was told. Like I really didn't care about the main character until the end, and that's kind of it was absolutely fantastic that ending. But to me, it was like, okay, but what about everything up until that point? Um, if Kojima can do that this time around, where you care more and where the story is a bit more, um, I mean, maybe more personal. I hope, and that seems to be based on the trailer. That seems to be what he's going for. Then I think it might actually from maybe end up higher for me. But it's like you said, it's totally what your own experience is like. If it's a 10 out of 10 to you, then there's a high chance that it will slightly disappoint you because it's probably not gonna hit that same high note.
Exactly.
But I can imagine like a lot like maybe me, but probably also a lot of the critics who are whining about the gameplay. If he improves that, they'll probably suddenly love it, or they will now just love it because they realize how wrong they were the first time around. But yeah, we'll see.
To see
Yeah,
how the public is gonna see it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Especially,
We'll see what happens. But I mean, we still got a
yeah.
little bit before it comes out. So later this month in on June 26th. But Morgan, how are you, ma'am? And what have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm good. Actually been playing a few different things. Recently we had was it the State of Play that showed? Yeah, I think it was the State of Play, I believe, that showed the another look at the Karen game that I've been anticipating. It's the kind of rock climbing, mountain climbing simulator game. And then they announced like a demo was available for PlayStation, so I played that. It's pretty short. It's like a hour, maybe hour and a half. Like you just kind of they show you the tutorial area and then you kind of climb like a couple mountains. Not too big, right? Just kind of just to show you the mechanics and how you go about climbing and excavating and planning your route and everything like that. I really like it. It's pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be. You have to like I can tell they're going for it to be as realistic as they can. Like, it you have to climb at a, where you can put your hands and feet into crevices, where you can hold on to things, right? It's not just, let's like say Ubisoft style where you can just climb everything, everything is climbable. You just got to go push the up button, right? Like you actually have to, you know, there's a mechanic where you press, I think it's like L1 or whatever, where you can kind of zoom out and kind of look at the mountain and try to figure out where exactly you want to start climbing. Kind of plan your route out, kind of like a Death Stranding almost a little bit, where you just kind of plan your route and see which side of the mountain is the best. Because
Mm,
trying to go up a 90-degree sleek mountain or sleek mountain face isn't going to work, right? Like you need something with crevices, you need something with um you know, ledges and everything like that that you can actually, grab onto and climb. And you have to place you know, in this game, you place every part of your body. So you have to place your right hand, your left hand, your right foot, your left foot, and you have to climb that way. So you're moving one body part at a time, going up and scaling up the side of a mountain. And they showed it again today at the Future Game Showcase, and they showed like different terrains. Like for the tutorial, it was only like, a basic mountain, but they showed in the Future Game Showcase that there'll also be like glaciers, like you'll be climbing up ice mountains, and you'll have like a pickaxe, kind of a Tomb Raider style, I guess, where you can help navigate up the side, but it won't be as simple as, just sticking the uh the pickaxe into the ice. Like you still have to navigate, and you still have to put the pickaxe where it'll actually catch into the ice. So it has to be a crevice in the ice or a divot or something that you can hook your pickaxe into. You can't just be like sheer sleek ice. So
sounds
yeah,
like it's gonna be
it's
really
really cool. It's
meticulous.
like I said, it's like a simulator, so it's gonna be um just trying to do it as realistically as a video game can to climbing a mountain. You have the I don't want to mispronounce it, the pitons, I think they're called, the things that the spikes that you stick inside the
Oh yeah,
mountain to hold your weight. Like you get like a certain set of those, a certain number. Like I think I started off with like six. So um that's how many I could use before I get on top of level ground. So once I get to the top, I have like a robot companion that'll collect all of the pitons after I get to the top, so that I can, use them again for the next mountain. But you're limited to that number per climb. So if you run out, then you just run out. So you have to organize it correctly to so that you don't use them all, before you finish scaling up the top of the mountain. And then you have like a backpack that has like things like chocolate and like ramen noodles and water and things like that too, because you have like a stamina bar as well. So it's like if you're climbing and you're going up a sleek face mountain and you don't really have much leverage and something to hold on to, your stamina will drain faster, and you can actually fall off the mountain. And she pretty much is like um she has her bare feet and bare hands. So the more you climb, you'll see like her feet and hands like start bleeding a little bit. So it's like the rougher the terrain, the more her hands and feet will bleed. And you also have bandages in the back that you have to change the bandages on your feet and in hands. You have like chalk on the side of your backpack to give you traction on your hands. It's pretty in depth. It's nice though. You can set up camp, to regain your stamina and your energy. Like you can cook and all that stuff to regain your health. and
it's
and
the
I
little
like
tent
how,
on the side of the mountain, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. You can set
that's
up a tent on the side of the
crazy.
mountain. Yeah, it's cool. And apparently you'll meet other climbers on here. I don't think it's online. I think it's just like NPC climbers that maybe will maybe sell you some food and supplies or something like that. Maybe I don't. They still haven't gone in depth about how everything's gonna work, but they do have, it's like a time. They do have a time of day goes by, so it'll tell you what time it is. It'll be like midday, morning, uh, night, dawn, twilight, stuff like that. And the environment looks different, obviously based on the time of day. And it's really beautiful how everything looks different on during the different times of the day. But I think there's weather effects as well. But it's really cool. Like you know anybody who's interested in what I said, like I said, there is a demo on Steam and PlayStation. I don't believe it's coming to Xbox. I think this is a PlayStation PC exclusive kind of thing, but the demo is available on both platforms if you want to try it out. Um, and yeah, see if you
No.
like it.
Also, one
So-
thing, I'm not sure if you realize, you need to tape your fingers. That's number one. And number two, the pickaxes, whatever you want to call them, you can actually, when you use one, when you retrieve it, it gets broken. When you have two broken parts, you can actually create a new one in the tent. So
Well, I never broke mine, so I didn't know that. But and then I did say you have to
it
tape your
breaks
fingers.
automatically when you retrieve it.
No, no, it doesn't.
Interesting.
You must have done something to break it. You must have not. You must have, because there's a little bar that you have to hit,
Yeah,
like a
I
QTE.
did it right, and then when I still retrieve it at the end, I still got parts, and the parts
Mm,
are needed to create a new one. You can
and
actually
then
create a new one in the tent.
okay, I'm telling you that never happened to me. My parts
Yeah,
never
it's
broke.
interesting.
Yeah, so I don't
So
know if you did
apparently,
something
there's a
wrong
way
or if
to
you
get it
just
not to break.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe you hit it, like I said, you hit it too hard into the side of the mountain. I don't know. But yeah, you can create more, like if you, I guess if you break them. I didn't, like I said, I didn't know that because mine didn't break. But yeah, I did say you have to, because I said she bleeds, so and her tape comes off, so you have to retape her hands and fingers and stuff. But yeah, it's a really fun game. I liked it. If you like simulators like that, or if you're like into stuff like that, if you like Death Stranding, you might like this. You know, like I said, because it's a game that's focusing on the traversal as the gameplay, a lot like Death Stranding. So uh I say, everybody give it a try. Like I said, demo. So but other than that, I've also been playing, well, replaying now, Disco Elysium. I played it in 2024. I think I only got like an hour into it, and then I think maybe some other game came up. I don't really remember why I stopped playing it. But because I have time now between this and when the Alters comes out, I think next week, I was like, you know what, let me get back to Disco Elysium, and I love it even more this time around. Um, and for everybody who doesn't know, Disco Elysium is like a top-down RPG. You play as a detective solving a murder. It's really intricate, really thorough. Like your detective can be anything you want him to be. Like the amount of leniency on the personality type of your detective is so funny. You can be like a fascist, a masochist, a racist, a communist. Like you could be like basically anybody. Like if you want to be like the rudest motherfucker to ever exist, you can be in this game. Um, and that's what I really love about it. And it's basically you're like I said, you're a detective solving a murder. You woke up and you don't remember anything about yourself. You had to figure out that you were a detective in the first place. Um, you don't remember why you're there. You don't even remember your name. You lost like your gun, your badge, all of that, and your partner, Kim, who's on the case with you, he kind of helps you slowly but surely regain your memory, as you're also solving a murder. But great game. I think it was like one of the top rated games when it came out, I think back in 2023. Unfortunately, I think the studio dissolved or something, like something happened with the studio where I don't think they exist anymore, which is
One,
very unfortunate.
they were working
Um,
on second one, and there was some commotion, power reviews, a rumor of power reviews and stuff like that, and then yeah, the
yeah,
second
something
was
like that.
cancelled. Yeah.
Sucks, but we still got a masterpiece out of them, so I'll take what I can get. So I've been playing that. I think I'm about
Hmm.
60 hours into the game thus far. Hopefully I can finish it this round before, my next round of new games comes out. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with it. There's so many branching storylines in this game. You know, it's one of those ever developing RPGs where you can get lost in the many side missions that you run into on the map. So I'm trying to not get too engrossed because every time I talk to another NPC, they offer me some other, you know, mystery or whatever that I have to solve. And I'm just like, as interesting as that is, I really have to stick to the main plot so I can finish the story and not get too caught up. But yeah, really enjoying my time uh with Disco Elysium. But yeah, that's basically what I've been playing, and also been playing some Lost Judgment too. So yeah, I've been balancing a bunch of games right now, but that's usually how I am when I'm in between waiting
Playing
for
quality
this.
here.
Exactly. Waiting for a bunch of games to come out, and I just start going to my backlog and trying to clean up a little bit. So
Yeah, people
yeah.
listen to that. We actually play our backlogs here for people who think that doesn't happen.
You know, I love it when I finally, you know, check one off the list. It's very rewarding just for me to add like three other games in its place. But you know,
Right. That's
Yeah,
the struggle we love.
don't clout it.
hmm
People think we clout chasing, like because there is a lot of clout chasing in the industry entirely.
Well,
Oh,
yep.
you're cloud chasing, Omar.
Fuck
We're
you.
real gamers.
oh man. Well, speaking of Omar, Omar, how are you, man? And what have you been playing, sir?
What's up, people? Yeah. I finally joined your group, you and Morgan. I got the plat in 33. I
Congrats.
fucking beat.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
I fucking beat. Thank you. I fucking beat that motherfucker. He was. He was iffy with his one combo, but besides that, once I figured out I forgot to add my one picto to the mix, uh, I beat him first try afterwards. It's like you can have so much broken
You,
abilities
for the
in this
record, you
game.
describing this isn't going to make any sense to no one who doesn't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I get it,
So,
but it's still,
you could
to
just
me, it's
say
still
that you
fast.
beat the super boss in the game so that you don't
Yeah,
ruin anything for people. Because remember, this is not the spoiler cast.
yeah. I'm not gonna say the name. Uh, uh, Super Boss was fun. Not gonna lie, it was entertaining. But when you beat the Super Boss, the final boss felt legit like an afterthought. Even worse than an afterthought. I didn't even see it attack. I killed it first try.
Yeah, I mean, if you can
So,
beat the super boss, which is meant to be done after the game, essentially, then yeah, the
yeah,
regular boss is
yeah, not
meant to
gonna
be
lie.
nothing.
I when I went to the final area, there was some phenomenal pictos that I could have absolutely used at the super boss. But yeah, maybe next week we're gonna talk about that spoiler cast. But besides that, I started a game. I played the demo of basically it's called Otter, an an automation adventure. Basically, you're a builder and you have these little creatures following you, and they kind of act like in Pikmin. They help you, and you create them, and it's it's a sandboxy game, and I enjoyed it for its. Sadly, there is no true story to push you forward, so you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Which, at some point, it became not boring, but like you've seen it, you're done it, you move on. And then I started another game called um this one. I literally bought it like a few days ago. Was on a discount called Giga Wrecker. Basically, you are living aliens invasion, and you get operated on, and you have special abilities now. And it's a platform solving, puzzle solving, but they have unique mechanics to it, and I'm enjoying it so far. And besides that, I've been watching tons of movies. Watched Sonic 2 and 3, great movies. Watched the entire franchise for Despicable Me, had a blast, and yeah, up to gaming now again, and down the road movies again. It's been a fantastic week, gaming wise and movie wise.
Absolutely. Well, and last but not least here, someone who's typically and used to be a regular on the channel but decided to join us today, the Wreck, man. How are you, man? And what have you been playing?
He's alive!
Mm. Yes, I am alive. Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I'm doing good. I've been playing a whole bunch of stuff. After I finish Assassin's Creed Shadows, got platinum or whatever, I went to do a little bit of Days Gone remaster. Played a little bit of that. Get some touches into it. Did a whole lot of different things in there, like I did on the first playthrough, but doing something different on it. Um, this time I'm just trying to get all the hordes out the way, knock them all out, upgrade so I get the one of the best guns in the game, and
Something new they added, or it's just the original?
uh, it's it's whatever.
It's, I
It
mean, it's
don't
the original stuff. They didn't add any weapons.
Mm,
no, it's all the same.
Gotcha.
Um, but they added some survivor stuff or whatever. I'll get to that later on and whatnot. But a good friend of mine gave me Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Um, so I branched off and went off of that one. Um, played a little bit of it, see how the game feels. Um, I haven't sucked my teeth into this one just yet. I've been getting into a gaming funk lately where I tend to go watch some anime. And one of the animes I actually started watching was Solo Leveling. Um, because I heard about it this year. It's my first time hearing about it. Oh, I should say, actually, yeah, I heard about it, but didn't really know much about it. And so start watching that, get to how the anime feels, and it's a really good anime. I had to
Yeah, I mean,
give
a
it
lot of
to him for
people were
that one.
upset that it won best best picture or something for anime of the year. A lot of people were, a
Oh.
lot of fearing fans were crying about that award. So yeah, it was kind of glorious.
Did beat a
Yeah,
few good anime, so yeah,
I mean,
I
it
was happy
deserved it.
for it.
I mean, the music was good. The music was good. The animation was good. The fighting was good. Everything about it was on point. I enjoyed it on season two even more. And I was like, man, dude, where's season three at, man? So I'm waiting for season three to come out. So right now, since State of Play happened, end up we can get Neo 3 demo and trying that out. Um,
Okay.
I'd say it's a big improvement from the first one and the second one. It's a big improvement. I think they learned from what's that other one they made? What's that other
Ronan?
one they made? Yeah, Rise of the Ronin. And so I guess they learned and they applied it to Neo 3, where you can stealth kills. Even though you could do it before, but it's like it's more a little bit more depth. Where you can hide in the bushes. You can hide in the bushes. There's a stealth part for hiding in the bushes. There's a thing where you switch up your transformation. Now they did it on part two, but in this round, it's like um, if you change from assassin and samurai, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be totally different from each other. And so I like the improvements they doing with this game. And I probably gonna be day one in this one. I'm sure I'm on day one because I have a day one neither of the other two. But um, I'm I'm contemplating on that one while I'm waiting for like No Fire and um Prison Desert. But that's it though, y'all.
Sounds good to me, man. Sounds like you're enjoying gaming, as you should, because it's great right now.
Hmm. Oh
Um,
yeah, it
absolutely.
is great.
As for myself, um, honestly, mainly this week, I've been a little all over the place. Uh, again, like Morgan said, after we finish Expedition, it's just like playing a little bit of whatever, going back to your games that you were working on. But also, like Priscilla picked up the Switch too, so I've been configuring that and helping her get that situated. Um, and then I did play a little bit of Mario Kart. Honestly, I just I don't really care about Mario Kart, so like I played it for like a hot second and then turned it off. Um, but I did play Bravely Default, which is what actually matters. Um, and that's really great. I didn't expect that to look as good as it does, which also allowed me to upload some screenshots, which showed how much Nintendo improved that system. It's still kind of annoying, but you don't have to do a bunch of weird stuff like you used to upload a screenshot. So that's much improved alongside with the rest of the app that is a companion app for the Switch 2. So they did a lot of good things as far as updates in regards to that. Um, Switch 2 is kind of in a weird place for me because uh, a lot of people that are getting a Switch 2 just moved all their Switch 1 stuff over to their Switch 2 and then like that was it. But Nintendo just has a really weird way of dealing with if you have multiple Switch devices, which is weirdly weird to me because out of all the devices that people tend to have multiples of, it seems to be a Switch. So it's really odd that they almost seem to go out of their way to make it harder than it has to be. And this new digital virtual game card mess going on is really weird and like is locking people out of stuff who are keeping their Switch OLEDs and back and forth, and it's just like it's a headache. Like somebody was saying how they wanted to watch Crunchyroll on their Switch, but then it freaked out because it's considered a digital game card now, or the virtual game card, even though Crunchyroll is not a video game. And it's like again, like I don't really think Nintendo thought this through for people who have multiple Switches. Like it is extremely cumbersome and annoying to deal with. Um, and depending on how you potentially transfer data, if you transferred all your data or if you just started the Switch on your own and then started loading things on it separately, creates like a whole nother thing. Like honestly, it's like as great as the Switch is, like upgrade wise, like premium build quality, that much larger screen, um, the more comfortable Joy Cons. Like you said, the build quality overall just really premium. There's a lot of caveats to this launch, and hopefully some of the stuff they can really iron out. One of the big issues that I've seen a ton of posts on Reddit about, and even Tom Warren was talking about having issues with it. Uh, One of the main things, obviously, for a handheld device like this is wireless. Um, and apparently, the wireless chip is having issues after the day one update. Um, so there's been a ton of issues, and I've experienced it myself, where my Switch can see my 5 gigahertz network, but won't connect to it. And then people are saying you got to do a bunch of weird extra stuff that isn't particularly available in all routers, and it gets weird. The fact that it annoys me, who typically is messing with my network all the time, tells you how annoying it is. Honestly, there's no excuse for that. We shouldn't be having basic connectivity issues with a device that's primarily wireless in 2025. That's just inexcusable. Uh, we have our phones, and I have several other devices here. The phones, iPads, all that stuff. They have no problem connecting to the 5 gigahertz network or Wi-Fi 6 network, so on and so forth. Like, so I don't understand why it always just seems like Nintendo struggles to get the basics right, and that is just annoying. And obviously, a $450 to $500 device. They really need to get it together. So hopefully, it's just software based and they figure it out. But yeah, they definitely need to improve the Wi-Fi connectivity and whatever issue is causing that expeditiously.
Oh,
Um,
tell me about it. Fuck you, Nintendo.
yeah, man, it's a mess.
Mm.
I'm not letting them
Yeah,
slide.
they fucked me over because they for some reason activate two-factor authentication on my main Switch account without asking me. So now I can no longer reset my password because it says, oh, you need a 2FA code. Well, I don't have one. Okay, choose your backup. What's your backup? Yeah, your backup 2FA code. Like, dude,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
that
it.
is.
That's why I don't buy digital.
Yeah, no, that is wild. Yeah, I'm thankful that I activated 2FA on mine a while back, and then I actually made Priscilla do it. So we had our 2FA codes, but that's crazy that they auto activated it. I remember you saying something about it in chat, but I wasn't sure exactly what happened. But yeah, that's insane for them to do that. Like, that's something like, and
And
I'm not sure they would even help you with that. Like, that's the other part. Like, Nintendo customer service trying to help you get into your own account. Because I know that's something we have to do for Priscilla as far as her Ubisoft account has 2FA on, but it's not on any of her stuff. So we have to call or email. You can email them and give them the information, and then they'll remove it for you. But yeah, everybody's, the best thing about customer service. We always say the best customer service is the one you don't have to call, because dealing with customer service is a nightmare for all these companies. But
exactly.
yeah, like I said, other than that, like I said, Bravely Default itself, from a gameplay perspective, has been really great. I also did try Pokemon Violet, um, because obviously that one was improved out the gate. And yeah, I mean, no frame rate issues at all so far. So that whole choppy, weird, all over the place frame rate is kind of gone. Um, so hopefully, a big priority for Nintendo, especially considering, like you said, this kind of weak launch lineup, is that they prioritize getting a lot of these games updated, or at least unleashing them for 60 FPS, especially the Xenoblade games. Like, that entire set of games needs it desperately, as well as Astral Chain. So
I was
hopefully
about to say
they
that.
get
Are
on
you
that.
gonna try it yourself
I'm
on
not gonna
60 FPS?
try it right now. It's not 60 right now. So it has to be unlocked. Unlike the reason the Bayonetta thing worked is because Bayonetta, it already had unlocked frame rate, so it just automatically went to 60 when you
Hmm.
put it on the Switch 2.
That's why a lot of these games are like, 60 now. Is because Nintendo had a lot of games that were just like unlocked frame rate. So it's just like the power of the Switch 2 just kind of pushing it to 60.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that's a big priority for them, because there's a ton of people hoping for that and looking for that. In the meantime, while they're getting ready to release some of these other titles, like the new Donkey Kong and whatever else they're going to release. Um, but yeah, to Salazar's point in chat, I was also playing Lunar. I'm playing Lunar 1, um, as well, still on PlayStation 5, um, as well as finishing up one of my playthroughs on Suikoden 2. I have two simultaneous playthroughs going, one on the PS4 and one on the PS5 version. So again, that's supposed to be one that I'm going for the double platinum on. So um, there's a
Big
Quality
shield.
or
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I love the game a lot, so I have no problem playing it
yeah,
twice.
I don't blame you. If
So
you love it, you love it. But you have always had this infatuation with double plat. And I thought Trophy Hunter was something, but you were something else with the double plat. And I know it's selective for certain games you like.
yeah, I
It is
mean, there's
interesting though.
definitely plenty of games
Yeah.
where I have the availability to do it that I definitely have no plans to do it. So um, yeah, this is most of them. I've been playing other
Mhm.
stuff too, but honestly, it's been so much. Dark Deity 2 as well, which is only on PC, which is a Fire Emblem indie type game. Uh, I completed Dark Deity 1 about a week ago, and been enjoying Dark Deity 2, which is much, much improved and much more in line with where I felt the first game should have been. So I'm enjoying that a lot as well. That's another game I'm working on finishing up. So honestly, I'm just all over the place. All my systems are getting a lot of play right now, whether it's the PlayStation, the PC, or the Switch. Which is why I was joking about needing a clone the other day. On
Oh, we always joke about that.
Yeah, so I put out that tweet because I was playing uh, Bravely Default on the Switch too, and then on the PC I had the Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma on PC. So, um, yeah, it's just so many games to play, so many things you want to try. But I mean, I can only hold one controller at a time, as it is right now. So I can only play one game at a time. Um, but yeah, we'll jump right into it. Like I said, there was a lot of gaming news this week. A lot of shows were put on. Um, I did want to make a small correction, though, something we were discussing before the podcast, so that put out the correct information, regardless of what people think or in their feelings about. So, um, an announcement was made, which was posted by the team behind Black Myth Wukong, um, Game Science. They went on to reiterate that they did have issues working on the development for the Xbox, and at some point after they finished it, decided they wanted to go with the release date of August 20th, because they have gone with the date of August 20th for about the past five things that they've done, including the initial trailer, including another story trailer, including the demo release and a bunch of other stuff. So there is no super conspiracy. There's no anything going on as far as exclusivity. People are going to speculate. People are going to feel how they want to feel about it, which is fine. But that is the official statement from Game Science. And you at this point, they said Xbox fans have really only two choices: either play it or you don't. Um, that's the only choice y'all really got left. And if you don't play it, and you don't support it, then don't complain when whatever they make next doesn't show up on Xbox. So I want to see those same
It's not
people who
on.
boycotted it or said that they don't want to play it. I don't want to see these people complaining. So that's
There
going to be the
hurt
result.
because
Um,
it's not in Game Pass. That's number one. Number two, um, I question what was the period of time that it took them to finish the what you call it, the fixing the issues they were having with Series S versus
they stated it took them several months, and that they decided by the time they were done to
yeah,
release the game on Xbox on that date. So the fixing time has nothing to do with the release date.
I
That's the misconception people have. The release date has to do with their own obsession with August
yeah,
20th.
which is hindsight is always 2020. I do think they should have mentioned that instead of just uh, waiting. Cause you still have the people they don't believe factual information, but it also doesn't help that you have people like Jazz, like all these journalists that comes out and still claim that is what you call it exclusivity deal. Like, how do you combat that as a publisher? I question.
I
of
mean, like I
what
told them at this point, like they can't do any real damage. The game has already sold over 20 million copies. Like they don't need Xbox sales. Like they're doing them a favor even still releasing it at this point. They don't need them. So, like I said, make the choice and decide if you're going to be a part of the solution and you're going to just enjoy the game like you claim, and like a lot of them claim that they were waiting on and to play this game, because the game is no less a great game than it was a year ago. It's still a phenomenal title, which I still have to finish the last two chapters of on PC. But I own the game. I own the game on PlayStation and I own the game on PC. So I have no concerns about
so
their
you
next
double
title
dip for it.
being an
Okay.
issue for me. So, well, I own them, but I didn't get it myself, but I still own them on both. Priscilla bought it on PC and I bought it on PS5. But regardless, I have access to it on both. So I supported them. So I have no issues or fear that their next title is going to skip whatever I play on. So, like I said, Xbox fans have that choice to make. And, if you want to be one of the ones that are like, I'm not going to support it, that's fine. Um, when it skips your platform as well as many other titles that they complain about, then, that's 100% on them. But yeah, the official statement has been put out. You believe it or not, people who are thinking that the Xbox PR response from 2024 is some sort of admission of guilt of them being knowledgeable of a deal, uh, from an insinuation of a PR statement is hilarious. Because yeah, we all know Xbox has never lied, or insinuated anything in their PR statements ever. And slash sarcasm for the people who don't get that. But yeah, on to the fun stuff. We had the state of play, which was the first up in a line of many shows that took place. um, quite a few highlights. People were all over the place with this one. You saw some people thought it was a 10 out of 10. Some people, 7 out of 10. Some people were like, oh, it's the worst thing ever. Um, I did see some really funny, interesting, contrasting responses once the SGF came out. So it was kind of funny to see some people like, wait a minute, But yeah, we'll go ahead and get everybody's opinion on what they thought of each of the shows and just kind of go from there. Um, I'm going to start with Morgan on this one. Morgan, for the state of play, from what you remember, what was your overall score, and what were some highlights for you, if any?
Um, yeah, so the state of play that happened. I didn't think it was terrible. Like, I just thought it was okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Um, I'm just kind of at that point where I just really want to see Sony show out, like show all out, and I'm just tired of not having a showcase. It's the summer E3 time, so people expect to see, the big blockbuster games that you are planning to put out. Like I already know, yeah, of course, we have Death Stranding next month and then we have Ghost later this year. But I would like to see, what's later down the pipeline for PlayStation Studios. But at this point, it is what it is. I just have to deal with it. But like I said, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. As far as what I liked at the show, trying to remember. We got to see like another look at Pragmata finally, I guess. And it's coming 2026. I think originally they delayed it and said it was coming 2025, so I guess it got technically delayed again.
Yeah,
So
Pragmata did look really good.
yeah, I have to see some more on that to see how I'm feeling about it. But it seems Capcom took a page out of PlayStation's book, the sad dad third person game.
Right.
It seemed to what seemed to be an older man escorting a little girl through this space facility or whatever, trying to get out, So I'm sure maybe some tears will be shed or something. So it'll be interesting to see what that's about. They did show another look at Silent Hill, which ended up getting a release date for this year, which is honestly surprising because I think they just announced it earlier this year.
Yeah.
Um, I don't personally care for Silent Hill. Like I said, I'm too bitch made for those games, but I will probably be watching other streamers play it. It looks good. I like the setting for it. You know, the like Japan and I guess the 60s or something like that, like early Japan. Um, and, you play as a Japanese schoolgirl essentially. So it looks interesting. Um, then of course, like we got like another look at Metal Gear Solid, but that was already a cop anyway. I didn't really need to see any more. It's a remake of a game, so I already know what to expect. So it's not like I need to see it. I'm already kind of sold, and Konami did a good job. Well, it wasn't necessarily Konami, I guess, but they published the Silent Hill remake.
Yeah,
That was more of what's that studio called? I forgot the studio that actually made it. That did the remake for Silent Hill. It was really well done. So hopefully this remake will also be well done and kind of not destroy some of Kojima's greatest work. Hopefully it'll still keep that Kojima touch in the game. So I'm looking
agreed.
forward to that. That's August, I believe. Yeah, August, I think. Um, I did like the Romeo is dead, is a dead man. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah,
It is.
Um, yeah, that was interesting. Like at first, I was confused. I was like, I thought it was like this is like an indie project or something because the art style was kind of like freaky. I was like, okay, what's going on? Then all of a sudden, they show the gameplay. I was like, oh shit. And I get my hype off of Weeb's hype. So when he gets excited, I feel that energy.
Yep.
So yeah, I am actually looking forward to that. I never I never played what was it? Lollipop Chainsaw. But I've heard good things about it. So I've heard good things about the creator, so I can only all I can do is try it. And that's coming in 2026. I think they said, yeah, next year.
hmm
Um, Maybe they'll have like a demo or something I can try. So, but it looked fun, looked action packed, looked like a fun time. Um, what else? That the game that's being made by the same people who made Journey, the Sword of the Sea.
yeah. Sort of the sea look great.
That's coming out. That's coming out in August, and that's going to be on in PlayStation Plus as well. So that'll be a game I'm looking forward to. I was a really, really big fan of Journey. That was like I think that was like the first. No, I don't want to say that because that's not true. But that was one of the first indie games that made me cry. Was Journey. I love Journey so much. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then they showed what I said earlier, another look at Karen, and then they announced the demo for PlayStation 5, which I already talked about. Um,
007
that
First Light.
Hirogami game, huh?
No, I was saying 007 First Light because you're the one that told me about that.
Yeah. The 007. I was surprised to see that here because IO Interactive is having their own showcase. I believe, is it? It's today or tomorrow that they're having their showcase.
Yeah, it is today.
So
I
I
think it might be
was,
today. So yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, yeah. So I was surprised to see that at the State of Play, and then they showed it again. I think at the game show, the summer's game show.
hmm
So yeah, I was honestly surprised about that. But I think they said they were going to do like a deep dive gameplay or whatever during the IO Interactive. So I was like, oh yes, show
Okay.
me what you got. Like a James Bond game, and it looks like it's set to be like early James Bond before where he's earning the 007 mantle, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's Tom Cruise phase, right?
yeah, Tom Cruise face. I was like, wait, Tom Cruise,
It's
hold up.
time. To-
But yeah, it looks so good. I'm a big fan. Like, let me not say I'm a big fan because I've only really played. I've played the latest Hitman, and I think I played like Hitman 2, I believe. And those were like I bought the latest Hitman, but I played like Hitman 2 through like PS Plus or something like that. Um, I really did like the last one I played. It was a really beautiful game. Like one of the locations was in that you played the game in was in China or it was in Japan, I believe. And but the ray tracing, the lighting, it had like it was like set in like the 70s or 80s, and like the neon lighting everywhere. The was absolutely gorgeous in that game. Ran amazingly. I love the idea of, being that spy that switches outfits and blends into the environment, just like walking around as a waiter and then knocking somebody out and dragging them into the closet. Like, I love that type of stuff. So to think about, and I really love the Hitman gameplay in that aspect, and to think that we're going to get that in like a James Bond game that's more of like a narrative driven but still has that same IO interactive gameplay in it excites me. Like, I'm like, oh yes, I need that, because a James Bond game where I'll be able to, you know, they said you'll be able to tackle it however you want to. So you'll be able to do it, the mission, you can do the mission stealthy, you can do it action, you can do it through espionage, like I said, disguising your way through the area, like however you want to tackle it. And I already know, like I said, IO Interactive has a gameplay on point. So I already know the gameplay is going to be great for this game. It's just like, the story, how is that going to pan out? But it looks like it's going to be good. So that's definitely a game I'm excited to get a little bit more information on. And then we saw some more of Baby Steps. I know people like laughed at that game. It's like that indie game where you basically are controlling the character walking around, and I guess you're just trying to get from point A to B. But we got a date for that. I think it was like September, so I'm looking forward to that. It was also that Hirogami Hirogami game, the little origami
Change
looking
shapes,
game that they showed. Um,
little
the
platformer.
indie game that they showed. Yeah, yeah, that. It looked interesting. I probably need to see some more about that. Maybe play like a demo to see if I like it, because it does have some aspects of the game I like, but some of it I don't. So I think I'd need to play like a demo to see if I'm, sold on that game. But yeah, overall, like, it wasn't a bad showcase. It's just when you have PlayStation's name attached to it, I just want to see more PlayStation. And then I think it especially hurt me when they brought Ghost out there, but they decided to blue ball everybody, and not like in the way that they at least did at the game showcase, where where they said, "Oh, we'll be back with Resident Evil," and then they literally showed Resident Evil 20 minutes later. But no, we saw they came out, Sucker Punch came out, they said, "Hey guys, we're gonna have a dedicated state of play for Ghost, but like later." I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, I pretty much called it. I said that that's what they were gonna do. I was talking with the Nate the other day before the state of play, and I was like, we're not gonna really see Ghosts because they're gonna save that for a dedicated state of play, and I was right. They are. So it kind of just hurt me a little bit. I was just like, but at least with that state of play, they said they were gonna give us a gameplay breakdown. So I like the gameplay in Ghosts of Tsushima. Regardless of how you feel about that game, the gameplay was peak. So I'm interested to see what exactly, as long as, I don't think they can mess it up. Like, as long as they keep it how it was, it'd be great. But I would love to see if they added any kind of improvements or, anything into the game, especially now that we have a companion added to the gameplay with the wolf now. So it'll be interesting to see how our companion factors into our gameplay. But yeah, overall 7 out of 10 with that. It was okay. I just wanted PlayStation to be there more. Oh, we saw some also. We had Astrobot come through, and they said that we were getting 5 more maps, I believe, and then they were going to bring the Astrobot controller back, but with a twist. So hopefully, maybe it's the gold Astrobot controller, because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. Did you say you want me to do the summer showcase? Because I can do that like hella quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're just do them together. So yeah, you
Okay.
can run your SGF as well.
Summer Showcase, I give that an absolute like 5-4. That was a waste of my damn time. I was completely devastated. Jeff usually does at least a pretty good job of like, having at least a few games, and I'm like, okay, yeah, 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 I'm excited about that, or something, at least one game that surprises me, or one game I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, like, but I just didn't have any of that really with this summer showcase. Like, I was like, and it was 2 hours long, which made it worse. It just kept going. Just kept going and going, and I was just praying for it to end, because I was just like, I'm done, I'm over with this, because he's not going to show anything that I want to see. Like, I can't even remember the highlights because I'm sure there was like one or two games in there that I liked, but I was
Mixtape was
just so
shown,
pissed the
so
entire time. You said what?
mixtape was shown, so
Oh yeah, mixtape. That was probably the main thing in there. And the crazy thing is, the Day of the Devs showcase, which was like right after, like immediately after the summer showcase, did a better job because they showed a deep dive of mixtape and like the gameplay and what the developers were actually talking and telling us what to expect and what they put into the game and the different mechanics. So it was a better explanation of the game anyway in the next showcase that wasn't even Jeff's.
Better
But
games
yeah,
even.
yeah. Um, it was
infinitesimals as well.
Yeah, infinitesimals. Thank you. So you have to remind me what was there because I was just so
We're
pissed
talking
off
about
I mean, I'm
Moonlight
cheating. I
2.
about.
have it pulled up, but
Oh.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're also
Yeah, you
excited
said
about Moonlight 2?
Moonline 2?
Moonlight, that
Moonlight
Metroid,
2.
that
Moonlighter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
roguelike?
Oh yeah,
Moonlighter.
yeah, 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 that one. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Omar. That
You're
too.
welcome.
Um, yeah, there was like and that's like the best games that they showed there for me was like the indies. Like and
As
that there's
always.
nothing wrong with that because I love freaking indies. But it's just with when it comes to the summer showcase, I usually expect like one big blockbuster or two that usually like they show that they usually, surprise me with. And I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait for that, right? Um and that just was not there. Like like Rec was saying the other day when we were watching it, like it just seemed like it was mostly like PC demo stuff and live service. Like I was just like, I don't care about any of this. Why are you keep showing all these live service games? Like 99% of these live service games he showed will probably fail in the next 6 months. Like no offense to these devs who spend all their time making these games. Like I'm not trying to shit on your work, but it's just like these live service games come and go. Like they're a dime a dozen, and most of them are not that unique. And it's just like here goes another one that will not last until 2026. Like it's just, I was just gravely disappointed in Jeff because I was like, bro, where is the big games at? And then like I said, they saved Resident Evil 9 for last, which is cool. Resident Evil 9, like I know that's a big game and everybody likes it, but I don't care about Resident Evil 9, so that did nothing for me.
Yeah, same.
But I'm happy for the Resident Evil fans. Congrats. And it's a big game, so I'm not gonna take it away from Jeff for getting that because I'm pretty sure he probably had to part with a big bag to get that away from PlayStation because PlayStation usually shows the new Resident Evils at their showcases, right? They
True.
had the last one at their state of play. So I'm pretty sure he paid a big buttload to get that away from PlayStation because that was probably meant for the state of play, right? So that's probably why he was on stage crying about how happy he was about this game being there. He was just up there like talking, it's like 30 years of history and I'm just so excited and so honored for this game to be here. I was like, damn, did you have to like beg on your knees to get Resident Evil 9 to show up here? Because I feel like you had to just tear this from the claws of PlayStation and Capcom to get it on your show, which I'm happy for because if you hadn't, I'm pretty sure people would have rated the show much worse than how they did. I think Resident Evil 9 saved the show for a lot of people. Um,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
yeah, absolutely disappointed with this summer showcase. The future game show that's happening right now, insurmountably better than the state of play and the summer showcase put together. They started off the show. I'm not going to go into it because you just wanted those two, but they started off the show strong, and it was strong throughout. I kept seeing game after game after game that I wanted to play during the future game showcase, and I was just like looking at Jeff's showcase, like, bro, why are they beating you, bro? They're about to take your mantle. But that's good. 'Cause, it's good that other showcases are rising because Jeff having a monopoly on the big showcases is a problem. So I like the fact that all these other showcases are getting big games. Good. Spread the love a little bit, okay? And the future game showcase right now has the crown for me for best showcase right now. Xbox will probably take that, but right now it's going to future game showcase. Like they are killing it. Like they had great games at there, and if you haven't watched that, watch it after this podcast.
No
But
doubt.
yeah.
Cool. Well, in not a typical fashion, because I usually go last, I'm gonna go next because my stuff is just gonna be really rapid fire. Um, State of play, same as Morgan. I gave it a 7. Um, Highlights for me were mainly stuff that I knew about already, which is why it's basically a 7. But it's also a 7 just because even games that I didn't particularly like, uh, I felt like they just had a pretty solid showing. They said it would have been higher, but PlayStation themselves failed to show up. So it's a 7, which I felt like was a solid score for what was on offer. Um, he said, especially considering most of the games were games I already knew about and was already on board with. Karen, Digimon Story, Time Strangers, the big surprise and big announcement, which is part of the reason it is a 7, is obviously Final Fantasy Tactics. Um, that was the elephant in the room for me as a big Tactics fan in general, not just of Final Fantasy Tactics, but the genre as a whole. Um, Obviously we don't really count Ghost of Yotei. They didn't really show it. That was that. If anything, that was a negative. Pulling that whole bait and switch, that was just they shouldn't even put that in there. That should have been like an addendum on a blog post or something. Um, Hiragami does look interesting, but it wasn't like it's not my typical games I play. So whether or not I play that when it comes out, I don't know. Um, a highlight for me, but a game that I will definitely not play. So I did want to shout it out was I did think the Marvel token Fighting Souls looked amazing, but I literally it just doesn't do anything for me personally. And this was kind of the theme between this show and SGF is that they showed a lot of things that just I have no intention of playing. And the things they did show I already knew about. Pragmata, of course, looked good. But again, like Morgan said, we need to see more. I'm not really sure about that game at this point. Metal Gear Solid Delta, I was already day one. Um, I thought Romeo is Dead Man also looked really good, but again, I don't play uh, play those games, so again, not
Well,
something.
nobody's perfect.
I know.
Get him, weave.
um, Sword of the Sea coming to the PlayStation catalog was dope to see because that was something I was definitely very interested in playing. So that'll be something that will now most likely be a day one from something I probably was going to wait on or check the price. So obviously I'll have access to that already. So yeah, um, SGF um, was terrible to the point where I fell asleep um, halfway through the show and then woke back up before it was over. It just was so long in the tooth. Um, I agree with what somebody said earlier. They were like, man, it feels like we're just getting so many damn Souls games at this point. Like, that it's just getting annoying, even
That
for
could be
people
a
who are
topic
Souls fans.
for
Um,
Mhm.
I'm a huge Soul fan myself, but the oversaturation of it becoming as aggressive as what you call it, gacha games or live service games. Like yeah, no, way too much Souls games nowadays.
yeah, it's kind of out of control at this point. Um, Obviously, they showed Death Stranding 2, which was the little clip they did show was basically pointless. I would, but we all know how Jeff feels about Kojima, so he would take anything that that man wanted to present on that stage. But it didn't change my mind. I mean, about anything. Death Stranding 2 was already day one. Um, the Chronicles Medieval actually looked pretty good. I'm a pretty big fan of that era. It just depends on the type of game. So I thought graphically and stuff that game looked interesting. Again, got to see more. They barely really kind of showed it off, but that looked interesting. Um, and then they showed Onimusha Way of the Sword, which I'm a big Onimusha fan. So that was a highlight of the show. Um, Surprisingly, felt that boxing was pretty funny. The little puppet boxing thing was that was something that just kind of threw me off. I didn't. It's like basically like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but like with puppets. So that was pretty funny. Um, that was definitely something out there I wasn't anticipating. Um, and then we got the official name for Project Century now from RGG Studios, which is Stranger Than Heaven. So that was a major highlight because that game has just looked phenomenal every single time they've shown it. Um, and I'm not disappointed with that at all. Like Morgan said, Resident Evil was also announced. I literally could not care less. I never play those games day one anymore. Like Resident Evil as a day one game for me, like stopped after like Resident Evil 5. Like so, honestly, if they really wanted my attention, they should have announced the remake for Resident Evil 5. But I don't know. Capcom looks like they're scared of that. So whether or not we'll get that, we'll know one day. But yeah, for me, the show was like a 5 or a 6. Same thing. Um, it was pretty bad. So probably a 5 to be honest. Um, but yeah, that's it for me. Like it was just woefully unimpressive, and like they said, the days of the day of the devs after was better, which is really weird. And the feature game show so far has had way better announcements. So, um, or at least way better consistency with games I actually find interesting. So, yeah, that's it for me. Um, Weeb, how did you feel about the state of play and then your SGF?
Yeah, goddamn, finally. Um, yeah, actually, I didn't mind the PlayStation State of Play that much. I know I fucking hate giving grades to shows, but uh, it was okay for me. I mean, yeah, the Ghost of Tsushima, cock tease was fucking stupid. They shouldn't have done that. Um, but yeah, there were some great announcements. I mean, Romeo's a Dead Man's absolutely top of my list. Like that was the biggest surprise to seeing another Suda 51 game at the State of Play, and it looked phenomenal. I mean, I'm day one with that one. Yeah, that's enough for me. I'm a happy camper with that game announcement. That got me. That my showcase was made. The James Bond game, First Light, looked really good. It is interesting. Yeah, sort of original take, I guess, to the Bond franchise instead of well, I mean they have in original games, but mostly based on uh, one of the movie Bonds, and now they have, as Morgan would call it, Tom Cruise as James Bond. Um, and yeah, I mean it looked really fun, so I'm definitely it's definitely on my radar now. Pragmata also really nice to see it's still it's not cancelled, right? Also love the the ending where they sort of apologize, sorry, in 2026. It's a new release year. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Capcom didn't cancel it and stuck with it. And yeah, it looked interesting from when they announced it. It still looks interesting. So I'm definitely on board with it. I will keep an eye on it as well. Um, Hiragami was also one of the games that I really, in terms of art style, really enjoyed. So I probably will get that at some point. Marvel Tokon, as you guys, I'm not necessarily the biggest fighting game fan, but that did look good.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same way that I also got the Dragon Ball um, Fighter Z game, which got the same treatment by the same developer. So I definitely think I'm gonna get that one as well because it's at least very a lot of fun playing this. Whenever you have friends over, or I'm not much an online player, but that's one of the games. I usually play fighter games or well, basically fighting games when I'm with friends. So that's definitely one of the games that I would want to add to my collection just for those cases. And
Understandable.
Bloodstained 2 was also, well, I think it was known they were working on a sequel, but it was great seeing it. Like, initially thought Castlevania, and I thought, oh yeah, no, definitely there's going to be Bloodstained too, because yeah, I mean Castlevania creators, so of course it's going to look like Castlevania. Um, so yeah, that looked, yeah, those were the games on my list that definitely piqued my interest. Um, so yeah, for me it was an okay showcase. I get the argument that yeah but what about the PlayStation games? Sure. Though I suppose technically the Marvel Token game is uh, yeah produced by PlayStation. Um, but yeah, overall, decent showcase, and compared to the Summer Game Fest show, it was an absolute masterpiece of a show.
Right.
Because that was a snooze fest. I mean, I've watched it with you guys, and I think we all had the same opinion that that was terrible. I don't know what Jeff is doing. Like he's standing there on the stage, like he's presenting the Oscars, and then he showcases the a B grade title one after the other that nobody cares about. Like uh, and I don't care about the excuses. I don't know if they're holding out on him, or he can get any decent trailers, or they just paid him off to showcase absolute garbage, but produced by companies who have money to spare. Uh, but I mean, I don't know. Like, but highlights for me. Sonic Racing actually looked kind of fun. I mean, it already looked pretty good from what we when we first saw it, but it's really cool to see that they're going all in with all their characters, including from Persona, from the Like a Dragon franchise. Love the jab at Mario Kart from the creators. And yeah, this actually looks like potentially a racing, sort of arcade racing game that actually looks fun. Um, yeah, so I might actually cop
Dig
that one.
at
Uh,
Nintendo. What do you thought about that?
Sorry,
The dig at Nintendo.
He
I just mentioned that.
literally just commented on that.
I didn't hear it, but okay.
Okay, backseat driver Opar. Yeah, of course, more Onimusha gameplay. Still looking amazing. So that's also day one. Also liked indeed that felt that the boxing game that I still have no idea what it is, but it looks like a boxing game. But like is it actually a game you play, or is it just an interactive movie? But I mean, I just love that kind of humor, so I'm on board with it. Um, yeah, so a bit more of Mouse PI. The look still looks great. Marvel Cosmic Invasion also definitely will be on board with that from the developers of Shredder's Revenge. Um, yeah, mixtape also still interesting. I think that's probably going to also be on Omar's list. The Mio, that Metroidvania game with its unique art style. Acts of Blood also looked really good. I think it was an Indonesian developer, so that was pretty good for I guess a first time developer making something this interesting. Um, yeah, I mean the things of Resident Evil, it's a great get for Jeff to have that reveal on the showcase, even though they were really annoying with how they were going to reveal it. But yeah, it still looks like. I mean, they're gonna go back to Raccoon City, but it still looks like a first-person game. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want him to go back. Then they're probably not gonna do it because they're successful with, but go back to the third-person perspective. I'm enjoying the remakes that are in third person way more than these new games. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably let this one pass me by. And I'll wait for the next remake to come, which, unlike you guys, I hope it's going to be Code Veronica, not five. But yeah, it's just me. And Stranger in Heaven, of course. Yeah,
Absolutely.
great to have a finally title. Looks amazing. It seems to also change the time, because it initially was like, I think, 1919, and now it's like 1943. So right during yeah, it was basically World War II Japan. Um, so that's interesting. Looks great. We'll get a little bit idea of the story. It seems like you're playing like a sort of mixed blood a guy who doesn't know where he stands, and yeah. So, but not really much revealed about the story. But yeah, I mean, it was already day one. I mean, I trust in RGG, we trust, right? So they will always deliver,
Yeah,
and and
that
now
looked
they're
great.
and now they're making a new IP. Set, a period piece, looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, I mean, again, great that they had it again on the show, that we saw more, that you finally have a title, because that also means a release date is probably coming soon. So yeah, um, I also did watch a bit of the other shows. I'm not sure if you want to discuss those. I mean, I watched Dave the Devs. The only thing that sort of, aside from getting a better showcase of the games that were shown in the Summerfest show.
Hmm.
Um, Also, they announced Tome 2, the sequel, which was, I absolutely adore Tome. It was, I think, was free with PlayStation Plus at some point in time. Um, but yeah, it was a hell of fun indie game where you basically just solve puzzles and have to take pictures. But it was really fun and really adorable, and great that they're making a sequel to that. So that's one of the indies that are on my list. Um,
You're gonna
yeah,
be excited about that. When I first started, I was like, oh yeah, that wave game.
absolutely. That's an amazing. It's one of the greatest games of that year. Um, And yeah, just quickly, then the future game show. I agree with Morgan. It is like a million times better than the crap that Jeff pulled, and probably cost like a fraction of that budget. Um, and they, yeah, for some reason they're getting better games than Jeff. Like, it started already great with the Expanse action RPG, Osiris Reborn. I mean, I love the Expanse, and I loved indeed the previous Telltale game. So I'm quite interested in seeing how this will play out. I mean, anything in that universe it has my interest peaked. Echoes of the End also look really interesting. And yeah, we talked about before the show, Morgan. It really reminds you of the new God of War, and I agree. It definitely has
Hmm.
that sort of epic cinematic feel to it. So yeah, I also will put that on my radar. And of course, Hurtling, which we've seen before, but still looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, already with those three games, it was already better showcase than
Fact.
what Jeff pulled. Um, so yeah, so exciting days. Definitely a lot of great reveals and yeah, more information on games you already knew. But that doesn't change the fact that, yeah, especially Jeff let us down, with this terrible showcase. So yeah, those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, obviously a lot has gone on with a lot of different games being showcased between these couple showcases and packs that took place prior as well. So, yeah, a lot of good games. Um, Omar, what were your highlights and your scores, sir, for State of Play and SGF?
Okay, so state of play, I gave it a 9. mostly because of the games that they showcase. Most of them I am interested in. Yes, sadly PlayStation didn't show up, but at this point, we're all frustrated. Like, let's keep it a bug, but it's not gonna take away from what they showcase, which is I'm super excited about. First off, we are getting finally the remake for Tactics, which I never played Final Fantasy Tactics. I've always wanted to play Final Fantasy Tactics, so getting this remake, remaster, I think it's a remaster, but I'm not sure. I'm so excited about that. Another one, we are getting that token, Marvel token. While I'm not a fan of 4v4 myself, I used to be a fighting fan, and I might give this one a try. See if something. Of course, I only play offline. I don't fuck with online. Um, Other than that, uh, it 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 had a few surprises like Romeo Must Die. I'm excited about
Romance the
that.
Death Man, Omar.
Thank you. Um,
Nobody Knows Die is a movie with Jet Li.
yeah, that's a Jet Li name. My bad. Um, it kind of remind me a little bit with the tunnel with the bullet heli. And also gave me a little bit of what you call it, that one game where you play as that character where you fight unlimited amount of zombie in a mall. I forgot what's called name called, but yeah, Chalo, from the maker of Chain Saw Lollipop. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Other than that, what did they showcase? That from the studio behind Journey, but
Oh yeah, yeah. Forgot
but
about that
fuck Journey. More importantly, the
one.
Pathless,
Oh wow.
which
Okay.
is I'm a
Okay.
huge fan of the Pathless, where you can actually enjoy the fucking game instead of 90%.
Instead of having to think, Omar doesn't like doing that, so he immediately stopped playing that game.
Nah, beat Journey.
Huh.
I thought you say
I just
you told me you got like an hour in and you didn't like it
no,
anymore.
no, 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 no. I beat Journey. I just didn't enjoy it that much. No,
Oh
no,
my
no, no,
god.
no. No. I'm a
I concur
huge
that the Pathless was great.
game like this, like Soul, um, that one game, Solar Ash. I platinumed it, so I'm a huge fan of these games. So yeah, I'm super excited about to see if what you call it. That game is gonna come anywhere close to Solar Ash, let alone the Pathless, because I truly believe the Pathless is an amazing game. Um, Other than that, what did they okay? The issue is they had a few good games, but for the most part, it was forgettable. Um, I'm talking about the midpoint where they showed a few VR games. The Tetris game, oh god no, that was so convoluted. Um, and and then the game that stole the show for me, it's that Origami game. Origami. It kind of gave me Tearaway Unfolded vibe, so I'm super stoked about that one. Now we go to oh yeah, and the James game. I'm excited. It looks cool. I have always been a fan of gadget and video game, but also movies. So yeah, that's a play. Now when you go back to the Jeff Keighley showcase, oh god, trash. It's three, and I'm being generous. Yes, he had Resident Evil 9 could drop calculation, but that's it.
Yep.
Uh, Most of their games were not to say trash, but like a lot of them sold that I'm like, now you have oversaturated the market to the point where if yeah, Immortal Shell 2, I get it, cool. Code Vein 2, cool. It does look improved. Immortal Shell 2 as well. But for the most part, gacha game, live service games, and I'm like, and especially the 2 hour show. Uh, Death Stranding. I am already sold on Death Stranding. So Saturday one cup. A few Metroidvanias in, a few uh, a platforming puzzle in. I'm sold on them, but for the most part, it was super forgetful. It was a forgetful show that was painfully because of its length. And last year he had a way better show, and we had that Muppet, uh, what do you call it, jokes in between, and that show was
What
far
that
better.
that
That's
was
the Game Awards.
the Game Awards.
Oh yeah, okay, thank you. Um, I, I I didn't watch the other showcase that you guys are talking about, but I know for a fact I would rate it far higher than both showcase. No, not the PlayStation one. I did look up that God of War X, that gameplay that Morgan talked about, Echoes something something, and that thing does look great. The Expanse, I didn't see it. I need to watch it
I
myself.
think you'll end up rating it higher than PlayStation's after you watch it.
Sorry?
I said I think you'll end up rating it higher than the state of play if you
Oh,
watch it.
okay, interesting. Um, I I already know for a fact that they are going to give a release date for a game that I'm excited about, which is Sacrifier. I can't wait for that. Besides that, lots of a few indies they shared that's gonna be there that I'm excited about that. So yeah, I would absolutely do so. Oh yeah, on the PlayStation Showcase, I forgot to mention Neo 2, Neo 3. My bad. I'm excited because I played the demo for Neo 1. I need to really get into the franchise. It's an undertaking, but I'm committed to play them. And
Good luck with
also
that.
this, yeah,
I said good luck with that.
what? Thank you. I know for a fact I need it, but some of the owners are absolutely vicious, vicious. Also, I forgot to mention Silent Hill F and Digimon. I'm so excited about both. Like Silent Hill literally gave me a nostalgia vibe, and it
Did you play the
seems
current Silent Hill?
no, but I played the previous one, which is one
No,
back
I
in the
mean the
heyday.
current one that came out
No,
though.
no, no, no. The first one I haven't touched.
And then you're excited for F?
I'm excited for F because F is the new installment. It's a brand new game. It's not
Gotcha.
a remake. It's not a remaster. That's why. But
Okay.
I should play what you call it, what they remade, because I don't recall if I ever played two, which is again it become a fucking blurry mess. Um, but yeah, I think uh that's about it for me. Oh yeah, no. Oh, uh, a Plague Tale. It's not on any of these shows, but it just got leaked.
It
Well,
is not
released.
leaked, sir.
I, I,
Stop
I
saying
literally,
that.
I literally,
Damn.
I was literally about to correct myself. It's not leaked. It's released by the actual dev. I am so excited about that. so excited about that. Um,
I
but
need you to play
yeah,
the I need you to play the first one first, sir.
wait, a Plague Tale?
Yes.
Morgan, I already beat 1 and 2. Are you kidding me?
Did you? Because last time I talked to you, you said you only played the second one.
No. I beat a Plague Tale Requiem. I meant the first one. One of the worst final boss. No, I did. The second one I beat it. Shout out to Viper via
Did you
Viper.
beat it on PlayStation?
The first one, no, on PC,
Okay.
on laptop. The second one on PC, on PlayStation via Viper. Shout out to him. Um, but yeah, no, I'm so excited about 3. I didn't get the Platinum 2 because you need to play for 4 hours and some convoluted shit happened. But yeah,
Mm, it sounds like
mm,
excuses.
it's
Sounds like
not
you
it's not excuses. Viper was with me when I spent more than 4 to 8
listen,
hours, five
listen. I got
hours,
the plat
and I
for
never
two, so
got it.
I'm not trying to hear that, sir. I got the plat for two, so you need
Yeah,
to buckle up.
congratulations on the
Yeah.
plat.
You
I
need to
wanted to the plat as well.
you need to buckle up and get it, sir.
Oh fuck no! I have more other games to play right now. I'm not gonna wait. This is the difference between me and others. I'm not gonna prioritize throw, platinum over new games. Like no, we're not doing that.
I'm
But
surprised
going
that
back
bait
to
didn't
it,
work.
I'm so excited for a Plague Tale 3, which is I'm curious if we're gonna like follow the same story or
Well, we'll
start a
figure
new
that out
chapter.
on next time's
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Because we don't know
On the
nothing
So
yet.
next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly. All right, so you done?
yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Rick, run it down for us real quick, man. Your highlights
All right.
for the state of play, and then SGF, if you had any highlights.
I really didn't have any highlights. The only thing I was hyped for was Neo 3. Um, but other than that, I really didn't care for any of else except for Pragmata. And not Shinobi. Where the hell did I get Shinobi from? Ninja Gaiden. It's another one
Okay.
I'm interested in. I already pre-ordered Metal Gear Solid Delta, so then that was just something
Nice.
easy. Um, other than that, I gave that a 7. I gave State of Play a 7.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Now, Jeff Keighley one. What triggered me was Cold Vein 2.
Okay.
Cold Vein
Yeah.
was something I was interested in. Still haven't beat the first one, but still. I got too many games to go back and play before I play that one. So, but that Atomic Heart 2, that is a big change from the last one. That was it
So you
felt
like the
much
upgrades?
better than, yeah. Um, let's see, Mafia Old Country. I don't really care for Mafia like that, but they're all good games. They are. Let's see. Oh, Resident Evil 9. Um, that was a rant out of nowhere one. Um, but that one, it looks like they're going back to Raccoon, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But also that character was in operations. It was either
Oh,
Operation File
the
something,
blonde
File
chick.
One, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Her name is Elisa. I used to play with her back in PS2 or whatever. And
Yeah, I
uh,
think her mother was right.
Yeah, because she's the
yeah.
daughter of Elisa. Yeah.
His daughter.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
daughter. Okay,
Okay, it's a
gotcha.
daughter. Okay. Well, that's good that they using characters that they haven't used in a long time. So it
Mhm.
makes the story to come together in a way. But other than that, I gave him a gave their show a 6. I don't really care for the other ones, though. But that's it, man.
Cool.
That's it.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. So obviously, if you guys had any highlights in the chat, I seen Hero say, um, he liked the Sword of the Sea, of course. Giant Squid Games, um, and then Echoes of the End, which I think that was today. I think that was from the Future Game Showcase. Um, I'm not sure what that is. I feel like I'm mixing that up with the game that I already have access to because I think it released on PC already. I think what's coming is the
Hmm.
console release. Echoes
Which
of
one?
the End.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't remember if that's the name of that game. But I know I was playing some Metroidvania side scroller game. Uh,
That's don't think that's a different game.
that's a different game. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I know it was on today, and it said something about I saw like Xbox in huge letters, so I know the console release for that game is definitely coming. Um, but I just can't remember the name of it right now. But yeah. So other topics for us to cover after we cover all the games. We'll obviously talk about some of the other highlights from some of the other shows next week, since we'll have that all. I know that I think the Future Game Showcase is still going on. And then of course tomorrow or later today, I think we have IOI deep dive. Then obviously tomorrow, the PC game show and Xbox's show, which historically, based on recent showcases, at least as far as showcases go, Xbox has been knocking it out the park. So I'm looking
Yep.
forward to them doing it again. So hopefully we see something amazing.
Fortunately, the release cadence is not that great.
Yeah, yeah,
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Ah, yeah.
yeah. The release cadence is
Oh,
definitely leaves
Morgan,
something to be desired.
Yes, sir.
I'm actually playing Can right now.
Oh, that's good. Good.
And I say, yeah, it is just like just threading a little bit.
Yeah,
You just
it
gotta
is.
time it.
You got to manage all your limbs instead of just two.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
But yeah. So
it is.
another topic that we had to cover, something that kind of came up, that's just been kind of like a discussion that people have had, that I've seen kind of around the community, which honestly I think is really false, and I think it just goes lends to the fact that a lot of people really clearly just do not pay attention to gaming as a whole, the way that a lot of us do. Someone said someone said that it sucks. They said it still sucks that visuals overtook gameplay innovation in priority.
Mm.
Um, I saw somebody say that on Twitter, and I was like, that's absolute 100% USDA choice bullshit. I was like, there is so much stuff out here. If I wanted something different, I could play something different, something like I've never played before, if I wanted to, any given day of the week, like twice a day. There is so much going on out here. I mean, alone, like I said, me and Morgan watched the JRPG indie project. That alone had stuff that I have never seen in several games, completely different concepts,
Mm-hmm.
incorporating things in combinations and ways I've never seen. So to say that gameplay took over, or visuals took over gameplay innovation, is crazy, and it just sounds like honestly a lack of uh, effort by the gamer that believes that, and they're tasting games, to be honest, because I mean I think we could all say pretty much the same, and we've seen plenty of innovation. And I mean, you guys alone, that join us have seen the variety of games that we play, the variety of games that a lot of you guys play. Like, there is no shortage of variety. And I'm not a fan of that word innovation. I've talked about that before because it's a loaded phrase. For a lot of people, use it to describe. They use the term innovation in a way that they think it means new things that I like. That's what people
Yeah.
substitute it for. That's not what that is. Anything that is new essentially is an innovation. Whether you like it or not is a whole nother thing. There's tons of innovative things that I don't like. Um, but that's why I'm not a fan of that word, because again, people use it the wrong way. Um, but yeah, I 100% disagree. I mean, we've just had Expedition 33, which is on the screen, which has done some amazing things while it does maintain an incredible visual aesthetic. It, created a change in the genre that brought in so many new people, which we just had a spoiler cast about it the other night, me and Morgan, and how the whole story was, especially for Hero, was how he's not a turn-based fan. They normally are boring for him, and so on and so forth. But this game alone um, brought him in to really understand what they could achieve, what he could experience by going into that genre, and now he's more interested than ever. And purchased, Final Fantasy X the other night, and he's interested in quite a few other games in the turn-based genre now because of it. So to state that, and of course to state that, you know, the visuals have taken over is crazy because one of the main things people talk about that pulls them through, whether they like the story or not, which honestly, I haven't met a single person who really didn't love the story in Expedition, but everybody talks about how the gameplay just keeps bringing them back, how they never want it to end, and they just keep wanting to engage with that world and the customization and gameplay innovations that took place within Expedition 33. And like I said, that's just one game. We just talked about the Hirogami. I mean, that's a game where I'm playing as an origami piece, where I can change different origami shapes and platform in different ways and interact with the environment in different ways by changing to different pieces of paper. Like, there is no lack of variety when it comes to gameplay innovations. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking on it myself, so I want to hear what some of y'all think, because a lot of, like I said, a lot of us play a lot of different games. um I'm going to start with Morgan on this one because I know you're a big indie fan. The indie scene is thriving right now in this regard. So, I mean, do you feel at any given time frame during this generation that visuals overtook gameplay?
No. Um, as always, like, of course, visuals are going to get better. I mean, that's just kind of what goes with the times, but that doesn't mean that gameplay has become stagnant or put on the back burner. Yes, like when it comes to like the AAA, especially in in the West, we see a lot of expenditures when it comes to things like graphics and realism and sweat and all the little things that people really like to see in their games. Yes, but that doesn't mean that gameplay has just been put to the side and that isn't a priority at all. I mean, again, like you said, especially when it comes to the indie scene, like I was just saying, I'm just playing a game. Just played the demo of Karen again, where I am a mountain climber, and the gameplay mechanics are me controlling every aspect of my body, my arms and my legs to scale up mountains, you know, trying to climb the highest peak and find the best route to get to the top. I just recently finished a essentially a top-down police simulator, the precinct that I had a great time with, where I am arresting, booking, shooting, catching all types of criminals and everything like that. Again, we just played. We all have been playing and have completed. Most of us in here, Expedition 33. Another game, very gameplay focused, right? Gameplay heavy, turn based. Beautiful graphics, right? Beautiful game, but that doesn't at all negate the fact that the gameplay is amazing, right? So this whole idea that that it's just about graphics, I usually find that those type of rhetorics come from people who don't even play these type of games. They usually come from people who are only playing live service game, which is the funny thing. These kind of rhetorics come from people who spend most of their time playing like Call of Duty or Fortnite, but then they have such a opinion, such a negative opinion about the games industry, and I'm just like, you aren't really even participating in gaming industry. You're really only playing a select few games, but then judging everything else
The
and saying, "Oh,
entire
everything's stagnant."
industry.
Well, listen, yeah, it's your taste that's stagnant. It's not other like there's so many games that people don't even bother looking at, especially when it comes to like indies or double A or single A, because they feel some type of way. They think that the amount of A's in a game dictates the quality of the game. Like if it's not triple A blockbuster, if it's not a PlayStation symbol on it, or if it's not like a big publisher, then that means the game is trash. Like it's like the amount of great games people just kind of look the other way to because they feel that there's not enough marketing behind it, not enough push behind it, not enough buzz from everybody that they follow who supposedly plays games is just so funny to me. Like you're gonna miss out on some fantastic games just because of something as stupid as its production value, you know? So to me, this generation by itself has been honestly better to me like lately than a lot of generations, and that might be just because I'm playing more and I'm having, I guess, the ability to buy a lot more games and experience a lot more different types of games. That might be why, but to me, I have no complaints when it comes to this generation. I see so many people talking about how this generation is one of the worst, it's terrible, there's no games, and I'm just like, I've been playing nothing but peak. Like nothing but great memories. Like I'm still having trouble picking what my game of the year is because I've been playing so many good games when it comes to like Kina Come Deliverance 2. Like I put like 200 hours into that game and
Yeah, you did.
I loved every single second of my time in that. As frustrating and, hard as it was to get some of the trophies and, trying to work my way through all these different quests, but like I wouldn't trade it for anything because it was absolutely fantastic. The storytelling, the combat, everything about it was just great. And then I turn around and play another peak game of freaking split fiction, right? Co-op, we all got to play it. Fantastic game. It brought back those memories, the old days of like the couch co-op days of Nintendo 64 and things of that nature. And it brought out the kid in me again, right? And then we turned around and played some more Peak with Expedition 33. So I'm just like, I don't know what these people are playing, and in between that, I've been playing more amazing games, right? So I just don't know what it is when these people are saying things like this and trying to say that gameplay has been put in the back burner when most of the games that I've been playing have heavily focused gameplay and gameplay that actually requires thinking, right? It requires, not just button mashing, but you actually have to strategize or you can't just go in blind and think you're just going to be pressing square the entire time and getting through the game. Like those are the type of games I've been playing, so I really don't know what these people are talking about. But again, like I said, the people that say that are usually people who aren't even a part of, you know, uh, uh, you know, people who say that are usually the casuals, people who don't play much. So I don't even listen to the rhetoric on gaming Twitter anymore because most of it is negative. It's
Yeah.
just people upset about certain things and about stupid um, things that they feel about other games or usually about other people's opinions about a game that they like. Like it's nobody's really talking about gaming as it should be, like having fun and having good discussions about what makes this game fun, what do you like about it, like recommending games to other players, like trying to get people to play diversify their portfolio of gaming. It's just people just hating everywhere, just negativity all over the timeline. It's just kind of sad, but again, you just got to find the people you vibe with and that circle of people and just have fun talking about games, spend time with them like I do with my podcast members. So I really don't have that problem. But yeah, I in the year of our Lord 2025, no, I do not have any issues finding games that are amazing and gameplay focused. So yeah.
No, 100% agreed. That was well said. Um, yeah, and the chat is agreeing with you profusely right now that gaming is thriving. We have some amazing choices, and a lot of games are hitting all the metrics, not just gameplay or just graphics or just story, but we're getting a lot of games that are hitting all the metrics, um,
Yep.
which is something I spoke about before. That's really important. Um, I know some people are just like, oh, all I need is gameplay. I don't care about a story. And I'm like, I get that. There are those type of gamers, but the reality is when you get a game that just hits everything, it just hits different. Um,
Hmm.
so
This is why 33 was so received and
Yeah.
spoken about. Like, yeah, I will wait my turn, but
no, I mean,
I'm
go for it. You're up next. So run it down.
dude, dude, what actual fuck? Like, I'm sitting listening to you guys talking, and I'm not mad at you guys. No, the opposite. I'm mad at the people that came out with this fuckery in the midst of having not one but two Game of the Year contenders between Split Fiction and Expedition 33. Like, do these people even game?
Nope.
That's the real question.
And it's not like indies are the only one, what you call it, focusing on gameplay. At least on the PlayStation front, we got a game in God of War where you literally have one shot, one camera, one shot camera. No game I know from uh, the one I know have done that. That if that's not creativity, if that's not gameplay creativity. Another thing, show me a game where you can literally fly on a dinosaur, drop in underwater, and then go fly back up and fight dinosaurs like that. It got gameplay. It got amazing gameplay. It to me like it makes you question who these people are. Are they genuine gamers or not? Because like, and if I want to go indie, I can go indie. Dave the Diver, amazing game. A
Yeah,
game that
shout
I
out to
literally
Morgan for
talk
the
about
platinum
that
on
I'm
that one.
excited about. Sorry?
Says shout out to Morgan for the platinum on that one. I always give her that one
Yeah,
because she's the only one I know that has the platinum for that.
That game's so good, man.
this is to me, this is the thing about me. I love the game. The thing about this game is you can actually get to the ending early if you want to, and that's what
Yeah,
I did. I didn't take my time with it the way it's supposed to. And not gonna lie, for a game that's specifically about grinding for uh, food items for your uh, restaurant, it have some fantastic boss battles. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Morgan can attest
Yeah, it
to
definitely does.
that. I was so surprised when they were doing boss battles right. I was like, what? Boss battles done right? Like that elevated the game for me from it was like a 7 or a 6 to an 8 or a 9. Because of the boss battles, they were so amazing. Um, another game, Sacrifice. Like, I'm so excited about that game. It it bent turn based with action based with
yeah. I was like,
strategy. Like
Sacrifice has like 12
indies,
things in one. Yeah,
yeah, like indies are the ones that on the front line. What you call it? Innovating. Like, yeah, let's give it a bug, but at the same time, you gotta play them to see that. Heck, PlayStation and Kojima got destroyed because of his creativity. Did we forget Death Stranding?
yeah.
Did
It's
we
definitely
forget
nothing like that.
Returnal? Did we forget Returnal? The sad reality is when an amazing game that have great gameplay but sucks at graphics or whatsoever, people don't touch it. We seen it with the Rise of the Ronin. People said what? It have uh what you call it?
Like average
PlayStation
graphics.
3 visuals.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but the
Like,
gameplay was fire. So
Yeah. I mean, I called that
but
out too because I
but
tweeted it. I was
you
like,
did.
people complain so much that, oh, you're not focusing enough on gameplay, you're focusing too much on graphics, and then you got a game that's all about the gameplay and less about the graphics, and people complained that the graphics didn't look great. And I'm just like, see, yeah, what are y'all telling publishers by saying these kind of things and not purchasing the game? Like you say one thing, but then your wallet says something completely different. But yeah, my bad, Omar, go ahead.
I'm cool with that. Prince of Persia, Golden Crown, great game. Innovate. It's not per se innovative, but it was fun. Gameplay was fun. Nobody touched it. My issue is gamers pretend that they want innovation and they say they want something different, but what are they playing? Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, Fortnite, all these games. But the actual games that are trying to be creative, they're not touching. Oh, it's kiddie. Oh, it's turn based. Oh, I don't fuck with this. Oh, I don't fuck with that. And the craziest part, and here is the craziest part, most of the time it's either, I say free, but with air quotes, on both either Xbox or PlayStation via subscription service. And and the funniest part is they have this subscription service. Like, uh, I don't like to bring console war in, but like I shared with you, like you know that dude that been what you call it, championing for Xbox to get more JRPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened? He didn't touch Metaphor. He played what
Well,
a few hours of Metaphor. He
this
didn't
is
touch
a
Persona 3.
yeah, this is a different
Reloaded.
person than that person.
He,
But yeah,
some Dewey with Dupla or something like that. That Twitter name is. And the reason why I'm specifically talking to him is because he was one of the people on the forefront that asking Xbox for and asking developers why are you not
why are you not on
putting
Xbox?
yeah, why is JRPG not on Xbox? Yet when they have JRPG not only on Xbox, free in Game Pass, with fucking DLC, free in Game Pass, I'm talking about Persona 3 Reloaded.
Yeah.
He didn't even touch it. Like, what frustrates me is we are living in some of the best moment in gaming history. Like, I still can't believe we got what we got with Chapter 3. Um, it may sound like I'm exaggerating, but like to a JRPG fan as myself that played Shadowheart, that played Legend of Dragoon, that played all these games, like that's a fucking dream come true. To see, I always say evolution, but like I don't know what to call it, evolution, reinventing the wheel. It it's like it genuinely brings a tear to my eyes. Beating the beating the secret boss like that was fantastic, phenomenal. Playing Octopath Traveler 2, amazing, phenomenal game. Like it at some point you just gotta ask yourself, who are these people and do they game? Because
Yeah.
clearly they don't. Because if they did, they would have seen that we're getting way more gameplay innovation than actual visual innovation in this. It's way more focused now on
Oh yeah,
FPS, which
by
I have
far.
no issue with. And it's like, dude, play your game. I always say it, play your game. One of the biggest fucking reason I surrounded myself with you guys because I knew who you guys were even before the podcast. I heard all of you talk about how passionate you are about gaming, but I also see you guys sharing gameplay. And yeah, find people like that, people. Play your games. That's the most important part.
Agreed. Weave. How are you feeling about this statement, man?
Oh, how I'm feeling. Yeah, like you guys are feeling absolute bullshit. Clearly made by somebody who either doesn't game, doesn't not game enough, or is just out there to, yeah, basically farm engagement, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely no reason in today's day, this time of gaming, that you can't find anything that appeals to you. I mean, with the golden age of indie gaming, like how the hell are you gonna argue that it's all about graphics? Like that doesn't matter. No, it's absolutely insane. And yeah, like you said, like it's not just about one aspect. It's not just about graphics or gameplay. It's a whole package. How it all comes together. Like the sum is more than or the whole is more than the sum of its parts, right? That's the uh, applicable to pretty much every game ever made, because it all has to come together. And like I said with Expedition, like how certain moments are enhanced by the beautiful music, it plays, that makes you feel things. Like it's crazy to argue that only one aspect is important, or that one aspect somehow trumps all, or somehow negates the overall excellence of a game, right? And what when people are arguing that, they're particularly you know throwing jabs at PlayStation, because they know they have like the most gorgeous looking games, right? They're leading the industry in that regard, and always raising the bar, and that's a synergy effect, right? Because it's not just they're upping the ante for themselves. They're competing with their fellow studios. They're um, inspiring other studios who are trying to see, oh, can we do this too? Can we reach a higher level? um, and why not? Why not should we have all of it, right? Why should we not try to see, oh, can we make this look even better? Can we make this look more immersive, right? And it's all about what you're trying to achieve. Like, I mean, you're showcasing like a game that doesn't aim to have the most realistic or gorgeous graphics, because that's not what it aims to be. And that's kind of the problem with this sort of wholesale argument, right? That it's just, oh yeah, it's all games now prioritize graphics, and somehow that doesn't. A game that has good graphics is not a good game because it has prioritized graphics. Like, it's crazy. I think this is just for people who don't have anything better to do, uh, can't seem to enjoy what they have. And look, you're fair to criticize games or gaming in general if they're doing things that you don't like. But at least be honest. At least be honest about why are you saying this? Is do you really mean this, or is it just for the sake of getting attention, or just you trying to propagate a certain agenda, or are you generally upset about things? But like, if that were the case, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're not really. You have to sort of expand your horizons then, because you're looking through a very narrow funnel, and you're not really seeing basically the forest for the trees, because there's so many great games. Like we've been saying this, I've been saying this, like every time. It's crazy how crowded uh, the last couple of years have been, and still are, and seems to be not stopping, because considering how many great games we also are getting next year. Um, yeah, I mean, as a gamer right now, you're living the golden age, right? Like, there's so many great games. The thing is, like, gaming is a holistic experience. Like, it's not just what what happens right now, what's available right now, it's the entire your entire career as as an amateur gamer, but still, you have so many experiences that you've had through through the years of gaming. And yeah, sometimes you get nostalgic. Sometimes they hit that edge. But I also can see like how far we've come. And sure, there sometimes simple is better. Sometimes we want to think that it used to be better. But I think it's like that. That's also what I don't really get is people, and the I don't know if that shows the age of the people who are saying this, but like when we were playing those games, when they came out back in the day, what are called retro games now, whether it's the 8-bit, 16-bit games or the first 3D games, like to us that looked like cutting edge, right? That looked like the best graphics we've ever seen, right? And yeah, if you look back at it now, of course they're very dated. But at that point in time, like you didn't know any better. You didn't have any frame of reference that you didn't know in 10 years graphics would look like photorealistic. Like that's not something that you were aware of at that point in time. And at that point in time, like yeah, the greatest games that you were playing at that point in time, many of them had the best graphics, right? And they were constantly trying to up the ante, make it look better. So it's crazy that you're trying to argue that that just basically trying to treat gaming as an isolation, as if what came before doesn't matter, right? That we didn't have that in the past, where we also got games that pushed the envelope in every regard. Um, yeah, I mean, and we keep moving forward, and the only things you really have to concern yourself with, yeah, no, the negatives in the gaming industry, the greed, the constant need to make all the money, to nickel and dime things, to uh, um, chase the dragon, right? To um, yeah, stop innovating and trying to produce cookie cutter copies of things that worked in the past, right? And trends like that stifle innovation, like copywriting certain game mechanics, which is yeah crazy because you didn't get to develop that game mechanic hadn't you be able to profit from the developments made by other studios and other games in the past. um, those are the kind of things you should be concerned about and should raise awareness of. But a game, yeah, looking too good because I don't know what's the problem, because it makes your preferred games look or your preferred platform look bad, or it doesn't fit your agenda. I don't know. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, we keep running into these people who seem to have only one mission, is to make other people's gaming experience miserable. And I think
Mhm.
the best answer to that is just ignore them, keep playing your games. And yeah, I mean, they're the meme that comes to mind is the people who are having fun, and then somebody's coming along, hey, this game looks bad, and then Final Pan is like, hey, stop having fun, and
Yeah.
that's basically the in a nutshell, right? That's where the core is at it, right? That some people just can't handle the fact that some people enjoy something that they don't. Um, yeah. What else is left to say?
Agreed. Uh, Rec, how you feeling about this, man? People feeling like graphics overtook gameplay as a priority. You think that's a thing?
Mm, okay, so I had a talk with my brother and sister about this some days ago, actually. Yeah, some days ago, and I told them, I said, because they said that this game that came out on PS4, got the name of it, is a horror game,
Mm-hmm.
and it said the gameplay is some trash. call it trash. And I asked my sister, I said, "How's the gameplay?" And she never gave me an answer to that.
So she said the
And my
they
brother
said the
came in
graphics were
and
trash, not the gameplay.
yeah,
Okay.
not the gameplay. And he said, "Man, the game's just trash, man. It's trash, it's trash." She said, in her opinion, it's trash, it's trash. I said, "No, the gameplay, if the gameplay is good and the story is good, then that's not a trash game. That's not a trash. Just because the graphics are trash doesn't mean that the gameplay is trash." Yeah, I give an example of what's that here? Dragon's Dogma. I gave an example of Dragon's Dogma. Graphics is some trash because it was a remaster of PS3.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is solid. It's fun. It's amazing. And they'll go and say, "Well, I mean, I ain't about to pay all this money on paying trash graphics." I say it's all about the gameplay. It's always been about the gameplay. You have everything else that's good. It's always good. But we came from Sega to PlayStation. And PlayStation, we had bad graphics. Gameplay wasn't all that good, but we still had fun in that time. And so, yeah, technology grows, but we cannot forget where our roots come from, where gameplay has always been the number one thing. It's always been the case because we didn't have big graphics and stuff. We ain't had all that.
Yeah.
And so, but that don't bad graphics don't dictate a trash game, a complete overall trash game because there's many things. And I was like, man, bro. I said, what happened, bro? And so I call this casual gamers. This is all casual gamers. What we dealing with is mostly casual gamers because we didn't have all this other stuff years ago. We ain't had all this stuff. We ain't had people complaining about this. Everybody had fun. We go to each other's house and play a game. That's what it's always been about. They didn't care about what graphics were, trash graphics or good graphics was. We're there because we want to either challenge our friends or play with our friends or a co-op game. That's what it's always about. In the arcades and stuff, all this stuff was fun. It was all about having fun. And so people trashing these games, they no not time to they're either trolling or they're casual gamers. And so my thing is these the sports players that play only sports and shooting games and all that stuff, they don't have no room because they limited to these things. They never experienced RPGs and so forth. They don't understand because they got on that. It's like one of the people in the community. He trashed these games from PlayStation and all them. But I was like, bro, you just play GTA and everything else. You just play the same thing over and over and over. So because you're not into it, but you call these games trash, and then you blame the community that these games are horrible. No, man, it don't go like that. If you can't get out of the little bubble to experience different games and try them and be patient about them, you can't really talk about these games. So I say this, man. Most of these guys are just casuals. That's all. That's mostly we dealing with, and we should just ignore them. Don't even interact with them. All they're doing, looking for is attention. Like somebody trash Assassin's Creed Shadows, man. I enjoyed it. They said, oh, the game, the little side stuff, assassinations interfering with the main story. I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not interfering. You can
Well,
just go through
most
the
of those
story
people
and,
didn't
and,
even
and not
play
do the
it,
side
so
stuff. Right. So I'm sitting here and I'm playing it. I'm saying, bro, this has nothing to do with that. Come on, man. What does assassins do? Assassinate people. We just got a whole list of people to assassinate. You ain't complain about Odyssey. Odyssey had the same thing, assassinating these group of people. And I was like, man, bro, I said, what the hell's going on over here, man? So I think, man, you just, sometimes I interact with them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just behind watch behind my phone and see what the hell they're talking about and stuff. But other than that, man, I just mind my own business, man, and game on, bro. That's
Yeah,
all I've been doing.
that's all facts.
And that's it, man.
That's the important thing, man. Just despite the conversations, despite the crazy things a lot of these people say, hey, don't ever let it stop your gaming or your enjoyment of gaming, because that's something that I've seen people at least state on social media that is like crazy to me, because like somebody I don't know who is a random individual on the internet has no effect on my gaming or the games that I play. And for people to say that people do is just the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like
That's
you,
so wild that you're like, so you're telling me for a few years you saw this game. You saw the trailer, you saw the real trailer, you was memorized by the character, by the design, by the gameplay, and when the game comes out, instead of buying it, you look at reviews, you see a person talking about it, and you're gonna judge a person opinion over yourself, your own self. Like demos exist, but most of the time people don't even fuck with demos like that.
No, no,
Like that's the frustrating part. Like to me, it almost feels like they don't want to buy games, but it's not like they're poor. They have money. They just don't want to buy games. I'm
yeah,
like, so
I don't
you're
understand the
trying
reaction.
they're trying to find any single reason to not buy a game, to be less hype about a game. Woke, they created the term woke and they simply just for that. But hey, so here we are.
Like I said, it's definitely a weird trend that I've seen come about on social media and stuff lately. But yeah, I don't think anybody that watches us that comes through or anybody on this panel is affected that way. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing to notate and notice when I see people say that. Like, I think the worst of it that I've seen personally is someone who I know is a big turn-based fan state that they weren't gonna play Expedition 33 because of the amount of people who were not turn-based fans that like the game, and that upset them, so they weren't going to play the game.
no.
And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. You're going to avoid
Take
a
that,
game
random
made for
player.
yeah, yeah, right? You're going to avoid playing a game that you know you will love because other people who typically don't align with the games that you like the game. Wait, what? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, with that, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here.
Oh,
Um,
oh, the game
and
was Outlast. That's what it
Outlast.
was.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that has a really
Yeah, it makes
particular look
sense.
anyway. Yeah, where you're like looking through the camera and a bunch of other stuff. Outlast is not an ugly game though, so I don't even know why they felt that way. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna get up out of here, get these outros, and call it a day. A little over 2 hours. Uh, we
What we're gonna do is watch the future game showcase after this. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, I
Gonna
mean, yeah,
gonna
we're
clear our minds of these other showcases, and we're just gonna be a
Yeah,
nice
I
yeah,
need
palate
to watch
cleanser.
that. Yeah,
yeah. I gotta watch that. We're gonna get some food, and we're gonna play some
that
games.
too.
Um, that's what it's all about. I'm gonna go get coffee, cause so Priscilla can play her Nintendo Switch too. Um, yeah, because it's all about enjoying all these new stuff that we have, all these great games we have. So yeah, shout out to everybody who came through, man. I enjoyed the conversation. Um, Hero, again, man, shout out to you, not only for coming through today, but the spoiler cast last night with me and Morgan. That was phenomenal. Priscilla listened to it later, or she finished listening to it later, and she had a ball listening to that whole thing. If you guys have finished Expedition 33, um, you can listen to the spoiler cast on Thrifty's channel, um, which was really good. A lot of good insight and really deep thinking, and honestly, just a great show and a great panel. We had a lot of fun doing that last night. So definitely check that out. I retweeted it on my page, so you can always find it that way. Um, but yeah, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. The wreck, man. Let people know where they can find you, bro.
All right, man. Y'all can find me on Twitter as Wreckage89. You can find me on PlayStation, PSN, as Raphael underscore 1989. Y'all stay easy and be blessed, man.
All facts. Weeb, where can the people find you, sir?
You can find me gaming, but occasionally on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infant Rhizome, and same for Blue Sky,
No doubt.
Other Nation.
Otter
Otter
Nation.
Nation.
Otter Nation.
Morgan, where can the people find you, ma'am?
Yeah, you can also find me on Twitter at Chill Bandit, talking about games. That's really what it's all about. Um, yeah, but we'll be looking at some more games today, and then obviously the Xbox showcase and PC showcase and the IOI interactive showcase. A bunch of showcases coming up, so that means a bunch of great new games, for all of us to play. So I'm always excited around the summertime. 'Cause that's when we get these amazing announcements. But yeah, keep it gaming, guys. We'll see you next week to hopefully talk about some more exciting games coming through. But yeah, Otter Nation.
Otter
Other Nation.
Nation.
Otter Nation.
And then Omar, where can the people find you, sir?
So shout out to everyone that came through. Hit that like button, share the stream out. You can find me Carbon Club on Twitter. Shout out to Christoph, she said it best. I can't be angry at any of the showcases because it's almost game for me to play. And that's what come down to. More game for us to watch, play.
True, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then as for me, I am your host, Innate, also known as the Real Innate on Twitter and Blue Sky. And as we've said, man, you can find me gaming because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And hopefully, you guys are finding a lot of enjoyment in the hobby we all share. Uh, and we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Otter Nation.
Other
Otter
Nation.
Nation.